As Palestinians in Gaza look for a way forward amid a tense ceasefire with Israel, the UN's Human Rights Council is looking back at the conflict and how it played out. The Organization of Islamic Cooperation, along with Palestinians, requested an investigation into possible violations of international law. Hamas's indiscriminate rocket fire into Israel was a clear one, according to High Commissioner for Human Rights Michelle Bachelet. But she says Israel's response, which killed 254 people, including 66 children, might also qualify as a war crime.
Despite Israel's claims that many of these buildings were hosting armed groups or being used for military purposes, we have not seen evidence in this regard. Such strikes raise serious concerns of Israel's compliance with the principles of distinction and proportionality under international humanitarian law.
The Council voted 24-9 to open an investigation. Israel, however, refuses to participate.
Another shameful day for the UN Human Rights Council, which not only defames a democracy trying to protect its people, but it whitewashes a brutal, genocidal terrorist organization that not only indiscriminately attacks Israeli civilians, but abuses Palestinian civilians in Gaza, using them as human shields.
The U.S., whose Secretary of State recently visited the region, and other Western allies did not support the move, saying it threatened to imperil recent progress towards peace. But the Palestinian Authority and Hamas welcomed the move.
What happened in the Gaza Strip is a fully fledged war crime that the world watched happen on their television. Now we need a further step to be taken, which is to actually punish the occupation.
But away from the politics, many see this investigation as important for shedding light on the ongoing struggle of Palestinians under occupation.
What has come up and is coming up in this Human Rights Council is the tackling and investigation of what is called the root causes of the recent round of violence. And these are the institutionalized discrimination and systematic oppression that Israel imposes on Palestinians. This is at the heart of what is happening right now.
The United Nations has been down this road before on Israel and Palestine. Since 2005, the Human Rights Council has had 9 sessions on the situation in Gaza. And while Israel sees this as bias, others in the international community see it as evidence that something has to change. Kristen, Saloomey, Al Jazeera, the United Nations.